Hello, my friends. This is Lada from AstroLada.com, and today my friend is anthroposophist, Western esoteric teacher, astrologer, and agronomist and educator. So many things. A Renaissance encyclopedia man, Theodore. Hello, Theo.
Hey, Lada, thanks for having me again.
I'm very excited for this topic. It's about the spiritual perspective of relationships, karmic relationships, twin flames, soulmates. Are there such things? Because let me just say, Theo is very versed and very, how would I say, very knowledgeable about the Western esoteric system of anthroposophy, created and given to us by Rudolf Steiner. This is the same continuation of the stream of Rosicrucianism and the stream of earlier Bogomils and Essenes. So this is a teaching that keeps, but now it's given to all of us. It's not kept hidden in the last 100 years, was released. So I'm very excited to hear what is the perspective of spiritual science, as we call it, about the topic of love, of relationships. And by the way, Theo also offers personal consultations on any spiritual topic, on any real life situation. For example, someone keeps having problem with their career or keeps having problem in their relationships or with money, and you look for the spiritual root together with Theo to that issue, and you find solutions again through spiritual science. So I'll put the link below if you want to contact him. Plus, he has a new YouTube channel where he starts sharing his thoughts. What is the name of the channel, Theo?
It's called Spirit on Wheels.
Spirit. I love it. Because you're driving while you're talking
Because
about
yeah,
deep
I'm always
spiritual
moving.
topics.
Yeah,
Because you
I feel
also
more
go all over
comfortable.
around Bulgaria checking farms because you're a biodynamic farmer as well and you're a consultant on farms. So he constantly in the car as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
That's great.
I was really thinking how to manage that because I travel a lot and I didn't feel comfortable just looking at the camera and speaking to myself. At least here, I'm speaking with you. And I felt more comfortable when I'm driving, when I'm speaking and driving. It's almost like when you're doing something.
Your sound is very muffled. I don't hear it well. Is there a way to be kind of,
How is it now?
I think it's a bit better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, my laptop is here. I turned it off.
Yes. Now that's better.
Uh, so yeah, I have a question before we start. You in end of October, you texted me, Teo, let's do a video about the love relations and topics about love. I've written everything you asked me as questions. Where did that come from as a topic for you?
Mm, Isn't everyone interested in that? Everyone, maybe someone asked me twin flames and soulmates, and I'm like, I'm gonna ask someone who is a better expert on that. And because I've had so many relationships that didn't work, and so many that was didn't work, but was so character forming for me. I'm so grateful I had them, and so many that challenged me so much, and some that are so and my current one is just so perfect. And it's like, why? How can a person have such devastating relationships in the same lifetime and then such a beautiful relationship at another moment of their life? And why do some people keep having relationship problems all the time? What is the spiritual deep reason? Or why is someone blessed with a wonderful relationship? And let's get down to why does someone gets cheated on all the time, or why does someone keep finding partners with addictions? Or maybe just dive to any kind of topics that you've prepared for us from the spiritual scientific
Yeah,
point of view.
yeah. So, I mean, everybody know that the topic of love is huge. And let's say Ben Saduno, I think probably he was the one who really spoke about the higher love, about the spiritual love between people, between God and humanity, and a very, very beautiful way of expression. I haven't met anywhere else. Probably Krishnamurti also spoke close to that way of love. So there were quite bigger personalities talking about love before me. But I'm just gonna give a personal view from the anthroposophical and spiritual scientific worldview. And recently, yes, being in a relationship that doesn't work out doesn't necessarily mean that it's not okay, the relationship. Just a few days ago, I was on a anthroposophical meeting, as I mentioned to you before we started recording, and the leader of the anthroposophical site here in Bulgaria reminded me of something that actually love, giving love or being gifted love, receiving love, it's very much connected to freedom. The fact that humanity was given freedom is an act of love from the higher gods, because when you're allowed to be free, then you can express something real. If you're not free, you're doing something automatic.
Yeah.
You're not doing it from yourself. It's just that it is happening to you or you're happening to it. But when you're free, then you can actually do something for another, because then your chains are off, and now I can do it for you or for somebody else. So love and freedom are very closely related. Therefore, you can express or give love only if you're free. And
Yes,
usually,
like just saying, if you hear this, you must love this person. If someone tells you, it's love is a natural, self-spontaneous, free expression. If you're told love, you must love this person. It
yeah,
doesn't work.
yeah,
Aren't we also spirits of love and freedom? Like the angels above us are okay. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, big topics. No, from the spiritual scientific point of view, the hierarchies, every hierarchy, angels, archangels, they have a certain quality that it's their quality. I mean, they can do many things, but their special quality. And the seraphims, which are on
Highest.
the top, yeah, they're on the top. They're called the spirits of love.
Oh, they only love. Yeah.
Yes, and humans, when we enter the spiritual world in a few thousand years, because we are still not purely spiritual as angels and archangels are, we will be the hierarchy of love and freedom.
Ah.
So it's their expression within the seraphim's expression within the human being because of freedom.
So
Because
we
the
bring the
seraphim,
freedom element.
yes,
So are the other nine hierarchies above this? The nine hierarchies, angel,
it,
archangels, archives, seraphims, cherubims, are they not free?
not all, many of them actually, I mean, the hierarchies which are that took the point to be evil, they expressed their freedom and they became from good bad. So that was their free choice.
Ah,
But from the hierarchies who are on the good side, they are bound to do good.
yes.
So they don't have the freedom as we do.
Wow.
And that's why when I was preparing for this conversation, I actually delved a lot into the freedom aspect,
Yes.
and I realized that when they give us the freedom, we do love from a free will, then they learn what is to love by freedom through us, which is a kind of big spiral within the spiral. Because if the hierarchies didn't give freedom to us, they will not be able to understand love, to
Uh-huh.
understand it. They
True
would
love,
only,
like freely given and received love, because they're
yes,
bound to love. Like you
yes,
must love the humans. Oh, poor them. I mean, they're in some kind of bliss state, probably very
yeah,
beautiful sense, so they can't
yeah,
even feel hatred. But we're the only ones that have freedom and the like the Luciferic, Ahrimanic, the negative entities as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Wow.
And this is how it actually disperses, because now we say, oh, there is friendship love, there is partner love, there is childhood love, there is all kinds of this situating love as a something, as a feeling, as an expression. And even in in the Greek language, there's 5 types of love, like the professional love and etc. and etc. So
Agape, Eros,
yeah,
erotic love.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why they call platonic love, because that's the spiritual love that we try to express towards another being from the opposite sex, which is not necessarily the desirable love.
Like me and you.
Yeah,
Perfect example.
yeah, platonic.
We love each other in a platonic way.
and and this is what really is the essence. It's I I like the archetype of giving an example with plant, because the etheric body is the body of love, which plants have in another language. The astral body is the body of knowledge, of wisdom, and the physical body is the body of will, which is kind of sensible, because that's how we will into the world.
So the etheric is of love,
Yes, the
the
body of love.
astral is of wisdom,
Yes,
and
knowledge.
the physical is knowledge of willpower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the physical body is also the body of truth. And this in because when we develop, now we're cleaning, we're purifying our astral body, the animal part in us. That's why we gain a lot of knowledge to try
Ah,
to understand love in the future, which will be the next body that we will purify. So actually
etheric.
knowledge is, yes, the etheric.
Okay, so we're now working on the astral, but
We,
in the future, far away future,
yeah, we'll be working on the etheric body and then on the physical body. And we are spiritualizing uh, the closer body to us, which is the animal, then the plant, then the mineral.
the mineral is the physical body. Ah,
Yeah, the physical body. So when the Christ died for us, he purified. He was the first, not the first one, because Buddha was the first. Well, the bodhisattvas were beforehand, but the Christ was the one who purified all the bodies at once.
the
And
etheric, astral, and physical.
yes,
But we'll be doing that over thousands of years.
yes, he did that for to show us how to wind the game.
And the final transformation is the physical. We start with the emotion, with the astral, then we go to the etheric. So our bodies will transform into light or whatever light
Yeah,
bodies,
yeah,
like a few 100,000 years from now. I don't know, whatever it's
yeah,
really
yeah,
reached. So it's not like I say, oh, they say in the new age, uh, in 1 second, we'll be in 5D, we'll be bodies of light. We won't need, or just like traditional Christians, they believe, oh, uh, they'll be like, they'll be suddenly reborn into new light bodies and they won't
yeah.
need physical.
Well, it could be that, I mean, I can understand why someone speaks like that. If you now are you're in your incarnation, and
Mhm.
let's say in 600 years you reincarnate again,
Mhm.
and you didn't do any personal spiritual work,
Mhm.
then because the Christ is moving the whole humanity, you want it or you don't want it, he's moving forward.
Yeah,
So we are evolving unconsciously.
yeah.
So that person in 3 incarnations forward just had transformed the body without his very active will, it would happen in a second for him, because he was not active within that part. He was not mindful. So he could say,
It's
oh yeah, just
anyway,
have a,
we're progressing. We're
yes,
progressing, even if you're not
yeah,
doing it consciously. Life knocks you about, you go through emotional ups and downs. That's spiritual work
exactly.
without
Yeah,
conscious realization.
yeah,
But
yeah,
some people like work really hard on it, like with
yeah,
special exercises. That's what you mean.
yes. And those people would be much more sensible to the fact that it was not like this. It was a hardship. It was, you remember every moment when you sweat and you tear and you have problems, emotional or mental or etc. And actually, to be honest, I don't think the reincarnation rule of Steiner mentions that after 4 or 5 thousand years, reincarnations will stop.
Oh, so it's not that like a
Yeah,
million
it's
years
not
from.
really. I
We
don't
don't
see. I
have
mean,
much time.
to be honest, when I look at I'm 30 years. That was pretty slow. I mean, imagine 5,000 years more. Um, but times is ticking a little bit quicker. I mean, everybody talks about that. That's because
Mm.
consciousness is much wider now. Gravity is letting go of the Earth. The Earth is actually turning into a sun, and etc. But I don't think it would be actually a bit quicker than we imagine. Uh,
So the
and that,
reproductive powers of humans within 5,000 years will go away. We
yeah,
won't need.
they will evolve.
Okay. So we
Yeah,
won't need this animal way to reproduce.
the desirable way. Yes, it would become more pure.
So by that time, we have transformed the physical body as well. And we can.
It's it's I don't know if we're going to the boundaries of the conversation, because
Okay.
it will be a physical body, but it will be dispersed within space. So actually, your body might be even your physical body would be larger,
Mhm,
like because your etheric body is also going outwards. That's
mhm.
how we become clairvoyant, and our physical body will start shaping. It will
So
be able,
being finer, not such
yes,
thick
finer,
material, like
yes,
the spaces between the atoms will be
yeah,
smaller and less.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
we're almost like not transparent, but will be lighter,
yeah,
ethereal, more ethereal.
yeah,
Still
yeah.
physical, but
Yeah, yeah, it's I'm can you imagine what will be considered as physical then?
yeah,
Uh, the whole language will change what physical means,
yeah.
because that's why Rudolf Steiner mentions it's very complicated to speak, to make a language of the spiritual, because 5,000 years ago, when the Atlanteans were around, or 10,000 years, saying the word physical didn't make any sense because they were only in etheric bodies. So in future, we'll be going in a similar aspect, but on a higher grade. And now speaking of physical, then it's kind of doesn't make quite a lot of sense because the whole realm will be completely different.
Hmm. Hmm.
But we start from there that love and freedom are really related. And when someone is doing a deed, a moral deed, he's doing it from a point of love that doesn't give him pleasure. I mean, it's almost a suffering because I'm doing something for you that's good for you,
Like a
but
sacrifice.
it's a sacrifice, yes. And it's a sacrifice because the ego doesn't enjoy that I'm sacrificing my time or money or whatever. And the ego is falling apart then. And because saying, no, don't do it, but are you sure? Should you be doing it? That's the ego holding you back from an act of love, a pure devotional love that you want to give to the other person and take from you. But actually, in the spiritual world, you're pouring out from the glass to the other person. And at the same time you're pouring, your glass is getting filled.
By itself.
Yes, because of the pouring of a devotional act. And being here on earth, being a physical body, it doesn't feel like that because you're still like, oh no, I don't want to do it. But actually, when you go to sleep and when you reflect on it, it actually comes back as an etheric energy, you can call it if you want.
So more like what that can help with the vitality and health and
It
how is
it can, you know what? Have you seen a person that when you look into or her into the eye and you say, "Oh my God, this eye is just expressing so much purity,"
Mhm.
and that's where it comes. It comes that it's even in an inner feeling that this person becomes very magnetic. He doesn't need to know it and understand it, but everybody else around says, "What's going on? This person started glowing for the last 5 or 10 years."
Yes. Wow.
And
Well, I'll give you an example. A mom with 5 kids. Like you look haggard and drained. Maybe
Yeah.
someone can say, "Oh wow, she's magnetic, but she's pouring out love and love and
Yeah. Yeah.
sacrifice."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're part of the family, you're saying, "Oh my God, poor woman," and then a total stranger comes and says, "Wow, look at that. She has all that energy." And the person who's within the situation, he doesn't realize that because that's commonality for him. But
Mhm.
an outsider would say, "Wow, that's really magical. What's happening there?"
And it's almost like you pour yourself out and God gives you more energy. And the etheric body is vitality, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
actually, someone who is not as vital, if they start helping out of love to others, the
Yes.
universe will pour more energy and vitality
Yeah.
into them.
Um, yeah, it's not about, of course, it's very, I mean, I think angels are very knowledgeable on that part to saying, oh, this person now is trying to gain more energy by doing these
Ah,
deeds. It has to be a pure deed, and usually the pure deed is not understood from the person who's doing it.
yes.
So it's not really that, yeah, I'm gonna do a spiritual exercise. Now I'm gonna go and give a love to everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
Because usually we're still sleeping in that moment of action if you're not really working and consciously putting yourself in a bad situation, not because of being the sufferer, a growing spiritual sufferer. That's not really the case.
So it's like an inner
So
impulse. You want to help someone and you want to
yeah,
do something for someone and you do it.
yeah. And when they ask you why you're doing it, and you're like, I have no idea.
I know. Even
Yeah.
others say, look, this person's wasting your time or they don't deserve you're enabling them, but you just feel like you need to keep helping.
And this actually can point you towards a karmic relation in a previous life.
Ah,
If you feel like you just need to help that person that you might not know or you know just from a shorter period of time, it's probably because this other person has given you good vibes or something in a previous life. And now you're sensing the karmic relation wanting to balance itself out. You have this big draw towards giving that other person,
yeah.
and you have no idea why. And that's because of a previous life that he was magnetic towards you, and now you're trying to give that back.
Oh, I feel this so often with people, and it's like, and everyone's like, why are you wasting your time? I said, I don't know. It's like I have to, even if they lost cause or there is no reason, or it's like some divine arrangement. And
Yeah,
I've often noticed they have planets in my 12th house. And the 12th house, like I past
yeah,
life, past
yeah.
life death.
And that's so charming to see that the world arranges things in that way. And for me, it's absolutely charming. And also our deeds now that we do from love that were not drawn from such an impulse. Let's say now, buddy, I say, okay, I want to help this guy, but not from a feeling. I just want to do it. Then that will happen to him in his life for me, probably. I mean, probably because I try to give it, give this push, and that's where the pure spiritual love is being expressed. I'm sacrificing something. I mean, if you're a billionaire and you give money to someone, that's not a sacrifice really, because
Mm,
you have loads.
yeah,
But like in the Bible, the Christ, there was a lady who gave one coin to someone, and he said she gave the most because she had nothing,
yeah,
and she given even her nothing. And
yeah.
that's how a big deed has been done, because for the poor to make something like that a deed, that's huge. I mean, that's
Mm.
huge. Uh, so that here we touched on the kind of the spiritual aspect of pure love and the way without the desire part. But the way the desire part of love, when we make love to have a child, that's not necessarily, I mean, we call it, I call it desire because it's part of the process. It's not something bad, the desire. It's just a part of the process that still the spiritual world and the higher beings give that process to desire. Someone has to do it. And it's desire emotion that is doing the deed of making love to bring a child. But this part, when the person let's say it's a very clear case in Christ's mother, Mary. They say she was pure, and that's a spiritual language of astrally clean. Her astral body was clean, so she was a big adept. She
Mm-hmm.
was a nearly to a bodhisattva adept, but not really, not yet. So she had the pure animal astral body, and that's when she makes love, it doesn't contain the desire part. I do it because I know I have the ability to bring life on earth. So I'm not doing it because of the love making. It's
Yeah.
just because of the act to bring a person into the world. And more, when human beings clear their astral body, it will be making the bringing somebody else to the world less desirable.
More like a obligation to bring.
Well, no, it's like I need to eat, or somebody, because realms will get thinner and you will be able to hear, I need to come, or
Oh,
I'm coming, and I need a body, and I need a strong body. And I feel like I can do it with you, and I can come through you because we are, I mean, I cannot come on earth without being born from someone. So I'm obliged to love that person who gave me life. That's why the love relationship between a mother and a child goes beyond death. Now, if my mother passes away or if I pass away, this motherly son love will go beyond
yeah.
that life and it will continue there.
Can I
And
ask you
that's a,
something? Oh, sorry.
yeah, no, no,
This,
go on.
there's something when you talk about that that came to my mind that I've observed. Couples that get pregnant when they're very passionate at the beginning stages of a relationship. And I've seen their children usually very vital, energetic, but a bit wild, a bit like the
Yeah,
animal energy.
yeah,
Like me and
yeah,
my husband had both of our kids with in very big passion. It wasn't Jesus, Mary. And they're both very sturdy, strong, wild, energetic, passionate kids. But I've noticed parents that have kids later, not necessarily through passion, maybe like 15, 20 years later, it's like the kids that are born and the souls that are attracted are more spiritual, calmer, not necessarily so vital and strong, but like wiser.
yeah,
And yes, because maybe the passion, the animal passion was not so strong between the
yeah,
parents at that
yeah.
moment. So they attracted more maybe refined or older
Mm,
souls. How can
mm. Well, it's exactly, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I even heard Ben Saduno saying somewhere that when you make a child and you're older with your parent and calmer, it brings so it gives the impact on the child because you're really giving, it's like a pattern that you give,
Mm-hmm.
a clay pattern to the child. Um, but it really depends. Yes, that absolutely makes sense, and it is like that most of times.
Yes, there are
Let's say,
always exceptions. Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes.
but the soul that comes, maybe he needed to be the greatest boxer or the greatest sportsman, and he will be looking for a family that's like that, very emotional, desirable,
Yeah.
energetic, into that, because he needs to shape a very strong physical body. He needs to understand the physical world to dominate the physical world.
Yes.
And maybe after that, he will reincarnate as an architect
Mhm.
who understand the physical world, and he'll build buildings. And it's
Yeah.
always that we can look at it, yeah, a wild child or a spiritually developed child who's more calmer and musician and etc. and a boxer. That doesn't mean one is more developed than the other. It
Uh-huh.
means only that he needed a situation, because it's all a process. I mean,
Uh-huh.
probably we have 500 to 1,000 incarnations for the whole cycle before we become angels, and everybody needs to go towards on every 12, 12 zodiacs.
Yes, you're right.
And
You're right. Like like I see, especially children that were conceived with a lot of passion, like I was. They have a lot of desires, tumultuous passions, but the stronger they can
Yeah.
tackle on more.
Yeah.
And they go with so much passion and desire to do things. While children that I've seen for couples that have been longer together, they are calmer, wiser, but they just have different qualities. That's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
necessarily one is good or
Exactly.
bad. Yeah, so sorry, we went
Yeah.
on digress,
No,
but
but
that's interesting.
I recently observed it because I'm growing, I have a child, and I'm trying to be, I'm a head of a company now, and I really think, okay, I don't have many. I mean, I have sun in a cardinal sign, and that's about it. And I look people around me who have big companies with thousands of employees, and they just go like this, and they change matter. And this desire and strong and fire of the cardinal, it's usually this wilderness because they just go like this. I don't care. I'm going to build 10 buildings here. I'm going to make a village. So if you are a person who makes a real impact on the world, you will need this
Fire,
quality.
passion, yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
if you're going to influence the world slowly and gradually and with little social meetings, then you'll be from the other part. Or you can be just a part of somebody guiding a social change.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's not a, we don't need only leaders
Yeah,
for the
absolutely.
world.
True.
Yeah. So, so this love part from the mother and the son and the purity and the astral body, as we talked, the cleaning, and this desire all have place within the world, but slowly it's falling apart because humanity is evolving, the desire is going down, and the desire will turn into a moral deed, and it will be, yes, I will do it because it's needed. But that's why it will go away from sexual love. It will be speaking. I mean, when you gather in a very good conversation, usually women are more sensitive to that, like they feel drawn to a man because he just speaks so eloquently, and they're like, that was better than love, you know.
So that's the future of sex.
Yeah.
The silver tongued men, they'll be getting the most.
Yeah. Yeah, the real conversing with other, I mean, just seeing the process of kissing, it's, I want to enter the other person. It's very similar.
And
um
also, esoteric Christianity and anthroposophy says that in the far future, humans will be created through the spoken word because
yeah,
uh, this will become the
larynx.
sexual organ, the larynx,
Yeah.
Taurus.
Yeah.
Instead of through Scorpio, will procreate through Taurus, the sign of
Yeah.
life.
And what is Taurus? Taurus is love.
Ah.
Yeah, it's, again, I mean, Venus, that's what I mean. And Scorpio is the falling down, I mean, the fallen Venus.
Desires.
Yeah. And I think
So
in
that's
all,
normal that more and more teenagers, young people, they're not those sexual beasts that our generations are. Of course, there is always like, your count, body count, whatever, which is
yeah,
ridiculous. But it's the trend with more and more will be less and
yeah,
less
yeah.
sexual, animalistic drive for sex.
You know what's very interesting also, Slava Sevrikova mentions that in future humans will have less iron in their whole system.
It,
And
Rudolf Steiner says the same. You've not
yeah,
found it.
well, I haven't seen
I'll
that.
find
No,
it
I
for
haven't.
you. He says the
Yeah,
same.
that's the, and you know, having iron, looking at alchemically related to Mars and copper to Venus, and the Venus system and the arteries, it's again, we will be more copper related. We need it now. There's a very big deficiency in the world of copper, actually, and that's the Venus part. That's the magnetism, the this real part for giving of love, being able to just to vibrate it from you, being person who's very magnetic, and you're like, wow, that's so attractive. He has a little bit more particles of copper than iron, which is an aggressive sign.
Oh,
And again, we hit the Taurus and Scorpio line. So
yes. Copper and
only,
iron. Yes.
yeah. So now we opened one topic, but it was from four spiritual places that it came together.
Yeah.
Taurus, Scorpio, iron, copper, magnetism, electricity, and men and female. and the
Yes.
larynx and the. So for me to learn, if you, that's how I do my consultation. I'm just gonna bring it back. We look from many aspects, and if it confirms from many aspects, then you can say, okay, maybe I'm going in the right direction. And one of the questions that you brought the other day when you texted me, the twin flames and the soul
Ah,
mates.
yes. Is there such a thing?
That's such a big topic because twin flames, I know it has been just recently, it came as a term. I mean, recently, the last 30, 40 years, twin flames and soulmates. So if somebody doesn't know, correct me if I'm wrong, a twin flame is somebody that you feel like you are bound to be for this life, but he's not necessarily your soulmate.
No, the opposite. You can
Is
have
it the
many
opposite?
soulmates, and twin flame, you were created together. You're half
Ah,
of
okay,
each
thank you.
other. Yeah.
So yeah, so it's the opposite. Twin flame, so it's the one that you came when the world, when humanity was made, you came out together.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
okay.
the twin flame.
The twin flame, yeah. And soulmate is your reincarnation buddy.
And you can
Or
have
the
many soulmates, different
okay.
ones in different lifetimes, but you might many times reincarnate with the same soulmate, but they're not like the ultimate one that you came together out with.
Yeah, yeah. So in the view of spiritual science, it's we came as the being that was two sexed,
With
one being with two sexes. We
really?
were,
So we were
yeah,
created with the twin
yeah,
flame each.
yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
think that even in mythology, they say we were like wheels a little bit. We were round beings. Um, and only when God gave us freedom in the story of Adam and Eve, that's when we separated.
Mhm. Yeah.
And with the separation and the freedom, we were able to give off love. Before that, when we were a whole, we were content. There was nothing you can give off. We were just the sheeps of the angels. We're just, okay, go there, okay, do that, okay.
Yeah.
And when they gave us the freedom, they split, and then male and female came. And that's when I think you were able now to meet a twin flame because you are no longer together.
Mhm.
And this is the moment. Yes, so twin flames, they are not allowed in consecutive lifetimes to meet. They were,
That's what I was gonna ask. You're not
yeah,
allowed.
yeah. Or you are allowed to meet, but the other person already has 3 children, or you're a Chinese and you cannot speak to each other, or something. There is a situation that you don't resonate with each other, but you can meet and you're like, whoa, what happened? This person, I really feel like drawn to it, but I have a wife, or I need to live to Peru or something like that. Because the draw between the twin flames is so big that if they meet, they are not able to continue spiritually to evolve because they connect and they consume. So the energy and the desire between them becomes so strong that they're not able to continue on their life path. And there's in certain times, in certain situations, these people are allowed. It might be that this person, one of the situation will die sooner than the other one, so the other person can continue. So they are allowed meetings, but they're very rare. Actually, Mesa Duno, I think he said only twice
No,
from many incarnations.
he
No?
said there's 7 times
Ah,
from the only the 7 cardinal reincarnations out of 777. So, or
okay.
it's like he gave such a number, but he says 7 times. And when you have some big mission to do, they give you like they together they give you this woof energy to
Yeah.
fulfill it. And but the rest of the time, one is there, the other one is down, and they
So you're
help
not
each
born. Yeah.
other. Yeah, or
Yeah.
they see
Yeah.
each other. And it's like,
Yeah.
what a mess.
On the elevator. Oh no, we're going. No, bye.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have this little book about the partnership, and actually on the last page, he says what you just told me, reminded me of the 777. And it's really a downer when you hear like, are you sure? Why? I mean, come on. But if when you start chewing the information, you're just like, okay, yeah, that actually does make sense if we're gonna be called self-consuming, and then why would I meet and this cardinal? I have a because I've studied Rudolf Steiner a lot, and he has a partner there, uh,
Giving.
Ita
Inga.
Wegman, yes,
Yes.
but he has a wife, Marie Steiner.
Oh,
So
okay. I didn't know that.
yeah,
Tell
so
me more.
he he had a wife. I think documentally he needed to help somebody, and he had the first wife. Then when he started teaching anthroposophy, he met Marie Steiner, and he got they were man and wife again with another person. But I also think because she was half Russian or Russian and she needed a visa or something, I'm only guessing here
Mhm.
that that's why he helped her to stay in Germany and Austria.
Yeah.
And after a few years, he met Ita Wegman. And Ita Wegman, we can call her his twin flame.
Yes.
Immediately in the times in the 19s, they were not ever going to look at each other to have to be with another woman when you're married. So they had this filter, let's call it. So they had this issue for not allowing to be together with each other. But Rudolf Steiner knew
Why?
he saw
Mhm.
clairvoyantly when he met her. And
Yeah.
she didn't even want to meet him again. I mean, she was not very interested in him. Slowly with time, she started remembering. And she is not as clairvoyant as him, but they kind of sense that they are a twin flame and
Yeah.
they work together. She developed the anthroposophical medicine for him, with
Yeah.
him, and he developed the whole society
Yeah.
with Marie Steiner.
So you see,
So
they
there
did
was
a great deed together.
yes. So they
But
needed
it
to be
wasn't even
together to bring the
sexual. They couldn't consume that. And
no.
but they had previous, he knew and he shared what their previous incarnations were. He was Pythagoras and she was, they would always pretty much 2 or 3 times they came before together.
Yeah.
I
One
forgot
big
who was who.
the one big one is Aristotle.
Yes, Aristotle.
Rudolf
Sorry.
Steiner was Aristotle, and Marie Stein. No, not Marie. Ada Wegman was Alexander the Great.
The student. Yes.
Yes,
So you see, twin flames don't have to be man, wife. They can be
yes.
student, teacher, and
And they were from the same sex. They were two men.
yes.
So that doesn't mean twin flame. I mean, the spiritual world doesn't care about these things. I mean, they had such a close relationship, Aristotle and Alexander the Great, such a profound relationship. And that's where
Mm,
this desire, love evolves and it nurtures and gives to the world. So that's the idea with our twin flames. If we are met to kind of substantiate that and to give it to the world, actually, this energy that we want to self consume it, uh, and give it to
yeah.
the world. But those are very, very rare situations that we can actually know of somebody that's that. I mean, they're probably all over the place. Putin and Donald Trump. I mean, I don't know.
Twin flames. Okay. I should put the title of this video. uh, Putin and Donald Trump twin flames. It will get a lot of views.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, the spiritual world works in very,
Yes.
very strange ways that we don't completely understand.
Might be, yes.
And one of your other questions was, do babies make us fall in love because they want to come through us?
Yes.
I totally think that happens. Yeah. I do think there is sometimes, I mean, if I was not the person who lived through that, I wouldn't imagine how it works. Me and my wife met in 2020. In 2021, she was pregnant. And it and probably we've met 40 times. I mean, it was so quick and energy intense. I was in England studying eurythmy, and I was dreaming her every single day. I was like, what
Wow.
is going on? I was dreaming him with a white dress. I was dreaming her this and that. And she says, you're not going off my mind. And we spoke that we don't want to be together. I need to study. She wants another life. And and of course, the doctors told her you never can conceive naturally.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know the story.
And I go back to Bulgaria and say, God, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm making one trial. And I was certain with my heart that she's going to conceive from the first time. Boom.
Wow.
And now we're man and wife, and we're trying to learn about each other because we didn't know each other.
Same with me and my husband. 1 month and I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
And
So,
I felt like the compulsion was so strong. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. And I'm like, I cannot, I need to be next to this person. And I was getting sick because I was not eating. I was not doing anything. I was just like, and he was obsessed and I was obsessed. And that child, had to be conceived.
yeah, yeah. And it's almost like the child is like, come on,
Exactly.
I need to be an ascendant Scorpio. I need the moon in here. Come on.
Exactly.
and
Wow.
and because the angel and the child, the angel of the two parents, the angel of the child, those are three angels. They're like, come on, we have time. There is no go.
Yes.
Go in the kitchen. Go in. And
Okay, in the kitchen.
it's very strange. I mean, if we can look behind the curtain,
It's
it's
irrational, yeah.
going crazy
It's
up there.
irrational because like
Yeah,
suddenly this irrational pull desire, you can't do anything else but that like you took a plane to conceive a
yeah,
baby.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And now
And we
when I
think we
go,
have free will. Come on. We're talking about freedom and love.
well, that's why they're related. I mean, humans don't yet have free will. We
Yeah,
don't have free will. We are completely not. I mean, I don't know how I move my finger. I mean, just try to think about it.
yeah.
Meditate on the topic. How? I
Wow.
know it from intellectual part. My astral body is pulling my etheric body. The etheric body is moving my physical body, and that's how I do it. But how? I don't feel it. I just do it. I
Yes,
just do it.
yes.
And when human beings start to really to understand how the will works, that's why eurythmy and paneurythmy are so important to be practiced.
These special
Because
dances, maybe like Tai Chi, I can give example for
yeah,
people who don't know
yes,
what eurythmy
exactly.
and paneurythmy is.
Yeah. Tai Chi, yeah, exactly.
So
Moving the
putting
etheric,
conscious movements, yes.
yeah, which have law within the etheric realm, not just moving around. There's something that they relate to. So this free will part, and when politicians and society is saying, "Well, I'm free to do whatever," I'm not. You're not free, and we are not free yet. We are going towards freedom, and we have these little glimpses of free action. Actually, one of the most common free actions a person does is when he willingly chooses a time and an exercise of a meditation.
This is free will.
This is the first act of thinking a free deed because we're just doing it in our mind. It's not really a movement like a will. That's
What
what I mean.
about if you're willingly planning exercises? You're developing your will.
Yes. Yeah. If you're willingly doing something that's not really something for you,
Mhm.
that's more of a free will. If I go and do some push-ups, that's not really a free will. But if I go and pull a tractor because it's fallen under somebody, that's more of a free deed, free will deed, um, inspired by love.
Ah,
Of
okay.
love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the other one I'm doing push-ups so I can look good, so I feel good. There's a little bit of an egoism there. The example of pure free will and with love, it's bees.
What? B
Bees.
bees, the bee bzz. Okay.
Yeah. They have a more developed astral body than human beings,
Oh,
and their life is a free will act of love,
of creating honey and giving it to
of
wow.
honey, of there's only one queen, only one person makes love there. All the rest of the bees, they have given off their sexual uh, ability because they're all worker bees, ladies.
Wow.
And they work with the pollen, with the flower, which is the cup of the Holy Grail, the sexual organ of the plant. They make the purified light. I mean, there is a whole lecture cycle only on bees from Rudolf Steiner. It's such a beautiful
Wow.
thing to perceive.
They're Venus. They're
And
connected to Venus, aren't they?
yeah,
Bees.
yeah,
Funny enough, every time before I get pregnant, my husband gets, and me, like a week before that, stung by a bee. And we know
yeah,
now, like a bee stung you, will be getting pregnant or something. It was
nice.
Venus, it's the energy of Venus bees.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. So the love relationship, the conception, the twin flames, the soulmates, how do we fall in love? It's this draw of something that you don't completely understand why it's happening to you.
Mhm.
Many times when you fall in love, it's there's times that you fall in love because you see something in the other person that you have, and you self-recognize yourself unconsciously. And when you start getting to know that person, the feeling gets off, and then you're like, oh, it's happening. You were completely different. You changed. And then that's when you said why things don't work out, because you didn't even realize that you have fallen in love with yourself, just expressing from the other person. That's a very egoistic love management. And it usually happens mostly when an older person, let's say 10 years older than the other person, they have a 7-year cycle difference. So I'm 35, my wife is 27, and I'm in the conscious soul and she's still in the intellectual. And I felt the etheric juices there, the energy of a younger being, not yet developed. And actually, I fall in love that it's younger and it's wise, but she's not the wiseness that I implicit. It's just the one that I try to give off to her.
Mhm.
And it's a very, I've seen that in few people. I've fallen that into that trap. I've seen that in a few people. Only after a year, everything falls apart, and the person kind of wakes up and he says, "Oh yeah, I don't know why.
But it's
I
not
don't
in
know."
our relationships with age difference.
No, of course, no, no. It's just a good example that I give with age.
Yeah, so basically, because every 7 years we develop a different spiritual faculty.
Yeah,
Subconsciously, we're not aware of that. So we're drawn to, like you said, a certain period of our life towards wisdom, a certain period of our life towards will.
yeah,
And someone might be already in this period and you're drawn to because they have more. And it's yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's of course I'm just giving a plain example because there are so many gazillion situations we see nowadays. I mean, a person can fall in love 20 times.
Yes.
I mean, but they're different falling in love. They're what did you fall in love? Did you fall? Did you just love the person? Because falling in love, it's almost like non-consciously. That's not a
Yeah.
conscious
You
thing that
trip
you're
into
doing.
love. You fall.
Yeah,
Exactly. You
yeah, yeah.
fall.
Uh, or I've seen that also looking into it astrologically. When that was probably 10 years ago, I was in England and I went to one city for the first time in my life. We went to a cafe we were a group of friends, and I just saw one lady and I was like, what's going on? I cannot stop looking at her eyes. She's gorgeous. I want to talk to her. And I go and my tongue rambles. I mean, I cannot say anything and I just go away. I go back home. I cannot stop thinking about this lady. And I saw a photo of her somewhere on the internet. I was like, no way. I found her Instagram. I started chatting with her. She never answered me back second time. And because I was absolutely crazy,
Wow.
I looked at her Facebook profile and I saw her date of birth and I looked and
Astrology.
we had a conjunction. She had Venus directly on my sun conjunct.
Oh, this powerful magnetic.
Yeah, that's the first time I saw what is to have conjunct from a woman with Venus on my sun. but nothing else. What she was working, what she was doing, completely off anything I would meet. And I think there's many times that we see some hot chick or some nice guy in the disco or in the club. There's these kind of points that we mismatch for falling in love. It's
Yeah.
actually a very strong connection with the person on the topic of Venus and Sun in certain houses.
So
That's actually,
vibrationally, something, some vibes
yeah,
get together, but there is no past life connections, no
yeah,
something.
yeah. It actually means there is something that you can relate to that person,
Mhm.
but that doesn't mean get together and make family and stuff.
So how would you recognize the fated, really important relationships then from the just kind of superficial attraction or something that you discover in the other that is yours and like you described? How would you have a pointer? Because I know Rudolf Steiner in Anthroposophy, he didn't talk much about such kind of physical human relationships. So we need to uh, think like anthroposophists and spiritual science and try to give pointers to people and for
Yeah.
ourselves.
I think they didn't talk about that because they didn't want to bring such a point towards that topic because there's so many other topics that we need to concentrate on. So
Yeah.
if I meditate to make my will stronger or my mind clearer, I will gain a quality to understand that question that you have.
Yes. Who is the right one? Who is divinely or kind of karmically appointed to be in your life at this
Yeah.
point rather than
Yeah. Because usually the people who we are bound to be in this lifetime, you would never think if you're about to choose and you have these 20 men or women and you're like, nope, I would never be with that one. No. And it's strange because that's why love puts it this way, because my ego would never choose it,
Yes.
but my higher self would choose it every day. Because it has the squares with you, it has the situations that you're going to grow with you. He's not going to be submissive, or he's not going to be interested in spiritual science, because that will develop you and will develop the other person.
Yeah.
And then every deed that you do will be a deed of willing love.
Mhm.
That Because if you're with someone who's, oh, he's amazing, she's so nice, you're not gonna grow. You're not gonna do any love deeds because you're gonna do it because you're enjoying that. That's not gonna be a willing deed. It's gonna be super easy. And that's how we
But
go back to the
everyone's looking for that instead.
yeah, yeah.
They want this fairy tale where it's
And
well, at least
that
initially it can feel like that a little bit.
yeah, yeah. I mean, in those moments when you're so tired from arguing and you're like, oh, I'm so grateful I'm with you. and, and uh it's a little bit in a smaller scale, the twin flame situation. And that's the wisdom of the hierarchies, them knowing that we will always fall into the easy part. Almost, it's a talent to be lazy,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. uh, but it's in the balance. It's not needed to be suffering. You don't need to suffer with your relations
Oh yeah.
so you can grow. No, it's about being accepting. I think that's what Bein Saduno talks about. Just accept the situation and it will scale down.
I love this advice. Can you give an example?
Oh, example, if you you're a woman, you're a mother, you have two children, and your man travels a lot,
Mhm.
and you have to make the breakfast to bring them to school, and it's Friday. All week you've been doing that. He's leaving again very early. They're screaming, "Daddy, I just want to come with you," and he's just leaving. He doesn't talk with the children, and you're this mother had 4 days of craziness, and you just accept that situation now,
Mm. Instead of
and
work yourself up against.
now go back, go dress up, go just finish your breakfast, and you're so tired, you accept it, and the children suddenly come and hug you, say, "Mommy, I'm very grateful that you're not living like daddy. It doesn't mean that what they're saying about the daddy, it's the children kind of sensed that something stopped being emitted from you in the environment, and they immediately found space for them to present, and they come and hug you. Because before that, the woman, the mother was, all those 4 days she was emitting, and the children go crazy more because they want to emit as well. But because you have a stronger astral body, you have gotten all the space in the room. And when you quiet yourself down and accept the emitting from your astral body, then the children slow down because now they need to emit just a little bit less. If we were able to see the world through the astro etheric, what happens? It will be a completely different world.
So, how would you accept if you have a partner that is actively self-destructive with addiction or something else? Because you're saying it's about acceptance. It's hard to accept such things.
Yeah.
Or
Well, you,
cheating. Or how should we act with cheating as well? You get cheated on. There is no universal recipe, but is there any spiritual advice for that?
it's well, let's think about it together. When somebody cheats, it's actually this person went and has been with another person.
Mhm.
He didn't cheat on you. He was just with another person because this person who was cheated on, if he uh they're not his and hers. If I feel like this man is mine and he went to another woman, then I feel cheated because I feel like I have a grasp on him. But
Mhm.
if I know that he cheated and that's for him,
No.
his karma, his
Um,
situation, his moral values, I will be cleaner from that situation. He's doing it on me. He's actually not doing it on you.
oh, he's
He's
doing.
making a situation that he's gonna suffer. He's doing it on himself.
Wow.
It's almost, there's another quote of Rudolf Steiner saying, if you walk and a brick hits you on the head, you pushed that brick. You made yourself to be in that situation so the brick can fall on your head. Karmically, you are just paying for the deed. Maybe you hit someone 2 weeks ago. I mean, I'm not saying the brick hits you and you die. Something happens to you.
Mm.
Most of the times we happen that thing on us. So cheating, if we accept that I want to suffer because somebody cheated on me, it's because I need to suffer to break down my psychology so I can understand a certain astral quality on for my character.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a reason that I wanted him to cheat. I wanted to put myself in a situation to be cheated.
Yes.
But I tell my wife sometimes, if you need to be with somebody else, you are free to do it because I know that that's not going to be on me.
Yes.
You need something to live because mostly women are jealous
Yes.
because their astral body is a bit wider. I don't have any interest on being with another woman because understanding these spiritual laws, understanding that, I mean, when I was 17 even, I knew that it's just, you're shooting yourself in the foot with that kind of deeds. But if the person, a man cheats and he doesn't know these things, he's desirable. He's falling into the lower aspects of the astral body.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not conscious at all of what he's doing.
Yeah.
And if you're with an addict, it's again, if you want to help that other person, that doesn't mean that he's drinking or whatever and he's putting you in a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be a will of help, then you're doing a very big deed of free will for love
Love.
here.
Yeah.
Staying and suffering with that other person, that's a very, very big deed that you're doing morally. You can help
Mm.
the other person.
So it's not just a sacrifice you're doing, unless it's dangerous. I mean, if the person gets violent, then
Yeah.
like,
I mean, then you could be a little bit nonsensical if you continue staying there.
Yeah.
I mean, usually I see women staying with the man who's self-destructive because the mind of a woman, especially if she's younger, her mind kind of molds around the mind of the man because they're more strong mentally. And that's why she starts thinking, I need to stay to help him. And she needs to develop, she needs a little bit meditative time so she can disbound her thinking from his.
Mhm.
And then she will be more comfortable for leaving or not really feeling disgust or hurt by his unconscious deeds.
Yes. Yes. Or at least detach and
Yeah, detaching
whatever you want.
from
Yeah.
yeah.
What about one last question? Sexual hygiene. We hear a lot about in the occult spheres where you can even have a one night stand with someone and you can, like, entities can, you can pick up, even if you've never drunk or never had some, if this person has some issue, you can pick it up from one night stand and suddenly you develop taste for things you didn't want before. Is this possible? Do you know anything about that? To,
I I I had a friend in the UK who was very charming, a man, super charming,
yeah.
and he wanted to understand this part of the spiritual aspect. How come many women like him? I mean, all the time. And he said, Teo, I found out Rudolf Steiner somewhere in personal conversation mentions a kiss stays with you for 7 years.
A what? A kiss?
Kiss.
Whoa.
Can you imagine what sexual interaction have? I mean, I'm just imagining. It is the if we say that's the lower desire. I mean, if you just don't for consuming each other, not for bringing a child,
Yeah.
for having fun,
Yeah.
it's the two astral bodies interact with each other.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting. Spiritual science speaks that when we make love for pleasure, we're actually not enjoying the other person. We're enjoying ourselves.
Huh.
It's a hyper egoism
Oh,
actually doing it. I mean, you can imagine masturbation, what it means. It's,
it's the same. Yeah.
yeah. But if you're using just another person to
To,
have that joy,
oh.
it's then you're using another person for that joy.
Mm.
I mean, yes, you say, but I give her pleasure, but I'm interested in her being well first. But that's because even that I've heard many men, I was like that. When I hear the lady being pleasured, I get more pleasure from that
Ah,
because I did it. I did it to her and she's enjoying because I'm making that.
yeah.
It's a very much a Rubik's Cube on that
Yes.
astral body here. The astral body just goes beyond the room. That's when you enter. I think there was a TV series. Somebody entered the room and said, somebody had sex here. It's it's real energy, astrally intense. It's real red energy. So yeah, I mean, those are. I think that's why adepts didn't speak about these things because many people, especially students, followers, they would feel guilt,
Mhm.
and then it wouldn't be. I mean, it will be counterproductive. You will be thinking, "Oh my God, Rudolf Steiner said this on a lecture," and you go back home to your wife, and your wife starts kissing you like that. Move your astral body away from me.
Well, it's your wife. You've picked up whatever you can from her, at least. Move
Uh,
your astral body away from me.
I think some things need to be under the surface. I've heard many times Rudolf Steiner mention, I'm not allowed to speak about that yet.
Oh,
Many times because it would make issues with good students. Even if they're not very clean, if they're good students, they were clean their astral body in another lifetime, etc., etc. And certain things need to be gone through to experience and say, oh,
mhm.
I'm disgusted from myself. I've been with 50 women. You know?
Are you giving us your body count too?
No, I'm just giving examples.
So it's probably needs to be experienced, but you're saying basically that when the soul is ready and it's purified enough astrally, the person won't feel this need anymore to just
Yeah,
around
exactly.
and but it's counterproductive to kind of put yourself in a monastery and put a metal belt around.
Yeah,
It's not a lot.
yeah,
If you still have those drives, go do it. You can pick up not just diseases, but you can pick up astral influences from other people. Hopefully there won't be, I mean, I know that personally, women who have slept with more men, multiple, especially one night stands when they didn't know the guys, and mental health issues later in life.
oof,
It's like they're more of a mess psychologically, let's say,
yeah,
gentle terms.
mm,
And it takes them longer time to get emotionally stabilized, maybe picking up all those astral influences that are not
yeah,
theirs, and even desires that are not theirs. And it takes, as you say, spiritual science says, 7 years to clean up the astral and to, so it might
yeah.
take some time, yeah. Uh, and I know also that um, if it's, I've read, I don't know how, but when men are with a woman and they love each other, and a man gets charged up by the
Yeah,
contact with woman. And if a man stays single or separates, he has 7 years. That's what, again, uh, I've read it and I've researched it. 7 years that he still gets the energy from the woman he's been with. And after that, his reserves get depleted at 7 years. And but he has just 7 years till then. So that's again confirms what spiritual science says, the 7 year period there.
it's interesting. I'm gonna last example. We can finish. You know, Diado Vlaiko. Have you
The
heard of him?
Yaduvlight, yeah, he's a
Yeah,
prophet
yeah, a
from
Bulgarian
next
prophet.
village. He lived 100 years ago. He's a clairvoyant. He was, yeah.
A very strong one, very, very big initiate. And his story mentions that he was from a wealthy family, farmers, and his father found a wife for him.
Forced him to,
And
yeah,
yeah, forced marriage. And the first night that he needed to spend with her, he told her, "Look, you're my little sister. If you want to stay as a man and wife, I'm letting you know I'm not interested in any love relations.
yeah,
So you can choose either to stay with me or to do something else." And she left, and he never had a partner in his life.
yeah.
And people whose astral body and their higher self is developed enough,
Hmm.
it will completely naturally
Hmm.
allow situations to develop. But because I was of that sort, and I'm telling that for people who might be,
Of
if
what
you've been
sort were you?
if I was when I started reading spiritual science, I started whipping myself. Oh, I was with this and with this one and with this one. I'm such a bad student and etc. That's as much as we are developed. We don't need to whip ourselves for our past.
Yes,
We can accept our past and continue being who our moral ideal wants us to be. We're not going to be our moral ideal in that lifetime, because
yes,
that means to stop developing.
mm, yes. So it comes naturally, those slow urges through life, fo- through focusing your energy on spiritual science or helping others or just developing virtues. Gradually those lower desires fall off. There's like, yes, it's good maybe to try to battle with them, but sooner or later it's like you put a block there and they
Yeah,
come out
yeah,
like an avalanche at you. So not beat yourself up, but try to focus on becoming a better person, developing
yeah.
moral value, helping others. I think just becoming a parent just takes so many out of those lower desires, and and because you're busy, you're raising a child, you're giving of yourself. uh, and it's like it pulls up the energy from the lower centers to the higher centers. I remember even being Saduno, he said, if a couple has too many of those desires. Like have a child, two, three children. If they continue to have too many of those desires,
Yeah.
have another child. So people with quite a few children, maybe this is how they purify the low
Yeah.
astral.
Yeah. Ah, very
And
good
some
one. Yeah.
some people don't even need to have children because they, or many, because they don't need that. So
Yeah.
anyway, thank you so much, Joe. Always such fascinating insights. I hope more people see this video because I got so much out of it and of this knowledge to bring us. If anyone wants to connect for a personal consultation with Theo, he's great at children as well, helping and showing you about spiritual perspective of raising children, relationships, any kind of, even you're very good at, we did the last video at health and supplements and so on, discovering the spiritual reasons for that. And also Theo offers 6 webinars, 6 courses on foundations of anthroposophical science, spiritual science. I'll put a link for any of you who is interested in those lectures, to start understanding the esoteric, the spiritual esoteric perspective of Western esoteric tradition. So thank you very much.
Thank
Uh,
you. It was a pleasure.
yeah. See you soon
Yeah.
with another interesting topic.
Bye.
Bye bye.